The recent March 2025 update for PowerDirector 365 users included some new titles, transitions, animations, and a new feature called Image to Video AI. There was also an update to the separate screen recorder app. Now let's take a look at what's new for the titles. Added to the motion graphics category were 10 new titles called Stylish 01 through 10. In the Stylish category, there were 10 new titles added to others with the name of Gold, with the new ones numbered Gold 11 through 20. Now, somewhat hidden in the menus and often overlooked as something new in the updates were about 5 new in animations, 1 new out animation, and 1 new loop animation added for use on titles. In order to see animations, I need to put a non-motion graphics title on the timeline. So I'll drag down the good old default title from the plain text category. I'll select it and then click on Edit. Next, I'll click on Animation at the top and then the In category. As I scroll downward through the list, you should see the new animations appear in the list with the red flag denoting New. You can see the new ones in the Out and Loop categories as well. I'll close the title editing window and return back to the main editing window. Now, over in the Transitions menu at the top, there were a total of 5 new ones provided in the latest update. When I click on What's New, the first 5 were in the update. The first is Beat, which was added to the Special Effects category. Of course, when I just click the transition and watch the effect in the preview window, keep in mind that the images you see for any transition are only used for the preview. If you use any of these transitions, you'll only see your images with the video effect applied to your clips. For example, on my timeline are 2 of the sample skateboard images, Sport 01 and 02. If I drop the beat transition between the clips, it automatically centers itself with 1 second on the first and another 1 second on the second clip. This total duration time of 2 seconds is the default duration for a transition, but you can change that if you want in the Preferences settings editing menu for any future use of durations. I'll close the Preferences window. You can easily change the duration of any transition used on the timeline by dragging either end farther in or out, which can make the transition apply more to one clip than the other. If I extend the transition out another 3 seconds or so on the second clip, you can see the effect. Now I'm going to hit Ctrl-Z to go back. I can change the duration time equally between the clips by just clicking on the clock icon and then changing the time to any number larger or smaller than my default time of 2 seconds. I'm going to enter 6 seconds and then hit OK. When I play that, you can see its effect. Also note that the transition has not changed the overall duration time of 10 seconds. I'll hit Ctrl-Z to go back again, but now watch what happens if I edit the transition itself to change its behavior. I'm going to click on Edit, and you can see my default behavior was set for a simple crossfade. There is an option for an overlap behavior, which means that during the actual application of the transition, both images are playing momentarily at the same time. I'm going to choose Overlap and just close the settings window. Now when looking at the timeline, the total duration time is now only 8 seconds instead of the previous 10 seconds. I'll delete the transition on the timeline and notice the total duration time jumps back up to 10 seconds. Now let's take a look at the next transition, Shift 03, which was added to the slideshow category. I'll add it to the timeline, and when I hit play, there's not a lot of action going on in this one, so this one definitely won't be making my list of favorites. Next is Aberration 3, which was added to the glitch category to supplement two others very similar aberration effects. I'll drop it right on top of the existing transition to replace it and then hit play. Next up is Twist 02, which was added to the distortion category. I'll drop it on top of the existing transition and hit play. And finally, there was the Strobe 02 added to the special effects category. I'm going to drop it on the timeline and hit play. The other newly updated items, such as the new feature Image to Video AI and the Screen Recorder app, will be covered in detail in the next tutorial coming up. Now that's the sum total of what's included in this month's update for titles and transitions to PowerDirector. If you haven't already updated your copy of PowerDirector, I suggest you use the CyberLink application manager to check for any updates and download as needed. Once again, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.